could have been one of the many nights where we went out for a happy hour that lasted 7 hours, right?
Yes, and then real quick, somomeone wants to say hi.
Who? Oh, hi,
Hi.
Chloe. What's going
Hi.
on, Chloe? Oh my
Okay.
God, she's so cute.
Yeah, she's gonna go bye bye with Daddy so we can chat. And then,
Next,
not to be outdone, say hi to
Coakley.
Meredith.
Hi, Meredith.
How are you?
Say I'm good.
I'm good.
Do you feel different now that you've had a birthday?
Now that you're 4, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, he's going bye bye too.
Life changes a lot when you
It
turn
does.
4.
He grew 4 inches this year. In
That's
1 year.
nuts.
4 inches. Isn't that crazy?
He's going to be so tall. And her son was literally like doing push-ups and pull-ups at a year old. He's going to be insanely athletic.
Nah, cray.
So are you excited for Thursday?
Super excited. I mean, I'm kind of excited to see how it all works out. Like, how do you have a virtual draft? Cheers. I mean, how do you have a virtual draft? So I'm like excited to see how they're gonna do it. Like, if there's any like technology glitches, like what if a guy wants to trade? Like, you're telling me like they're not gonna try to like hack? People aren't gonna try to hack and figure out what's going on. Like, I'm super excited.
It's going to be wild, and the ratings for it are going to be through the roof because there's nothing else really on that's new programming, that's live programming. From a reporter's perspective, you'd normally be at the draft. You'd get probably their first round pick, or you get people in the Jets organization, whether it's at the facility or at the draft itself. How are you going to get these people? Will they be made available to you?
So usually what I do when I cover the draft, I'm at the facility.
Facility.
So, and then I get either Joe Douglas or the coach or Adam Gase after the draft pick, and then we get the guy on the phone, and then he flies back the next day, and then I get him at the facility that Friday morning. This time they're doing it with, he's going to have a Zoom conference after the first round pick, and then we get to do the Zoom conference. I'll get to interview him after on Zoom.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You better hope that they're recording on the main computer,
right?
on a backup computer, on a backup to the backup computer.
And there's no glitches where it's like,
Well, Zoom has been great during all of this. I didn't really know what it was prior to the pandemic, but now everyone's using it, especially in TV, to try to get some type of programming out there. But every other day you have an issue, whether it's somebody's internet connection or the audio isn't syncing. Your lips are moving differently than the audio is coming out, and it can be a hot mess. But
it is. I actually was it yesterday? My days just all come together.
My brother says hello.
Hello. Hey, Danny, how are you? Danny's one of my favorites.
He's down in West Palm. I think last time you saw him, we were probably at Bathtub Gin in New York years ago.
Yes. How are you doing, Dan? I guess I really can't talk to Danny right now because I'm talking to you, but But no, the other day I was doing an interview with Joe Douglas, and there was like some feedback and stuff, and so we had to like retape like the intro and like all that stuff, and it's like so crazy. I'm just used to sitting down with you, and maybe like, hang on, stop, the microphone's not picking up or something like that. Now it's like bad connection.
And it's so much harder to feed off of somebody when you don't know them that well. I'm sure you have a relationship with Joe Douglas already, but the first round pick, this will likely be the first time you're talking to him. So
I know, he's like, hey, how are you?
Speaking of Joe Douglas, first draft for him, correct?
Yes, first draft as a GM, yes.
At the helm, what's your level of confidence? 8 picks that he's going to get the majority right, or at least the early ones that you really can't miss on.
I actually really like Joe Douglas. I think he's great. I think he's worked his way up. He's worked with like Ozzie Newsome from the Baltimore Ravens. He gets it. He understands that you have to build through the draft. And it's crazy. I was talking to Nick Mangold the other day, who was a Jets center for all these years. He's the last offensive lineman to ever be drafted in the first round by the New York Jets. That was in 2006. That's a long, long time ago. So I think Joe Douglas gets it. He was an offensive lineman. You got to start building from the inside out. You got to start in the trenches. And he wants to protect Sam Darnold, their franchise quarterback, which is exactly what he has to do. So with that 11th pick, there's so many great tackles. I think you're going to see him go tackle. I know everybody's like, well, he needs a playmaker. But you can get these playmakers in second and third and fourth round. Like you said, like they have 4 picks in the top 79.
Yeah.
Those guys could all be starters. And especially that 68th pick they got with the Giants trade, that's a guy you can get like a playmaker who can start immediately. So that's what he needs to do. And I think Joe Douglas gets it. He understands it. He's a patient guy. He's a calm guy. He's not after those big flashy, guys. He just wants to build a foundation, work his way up. I'm excited. I really like him a lot.
You mentioned Sam. I actually had the opportunity to meet him at Yankee Stadium last year where he threw out the first pitch. What a nice guy.
He's fantastic. It's so funny because I joke, but he actually could be my son. Like, I know. Drink. You can take a drink. I will.
I'm not too far behind you, girl.
Because Josh McCown is the same age. We're the same exact age. Josh has a daughter who is a year younger than Sam. So it's just every time I see Sam, I'm thinking like I call him a kid, and I know he's not a kid. He's 22 years old, but for me, like, I'm like, my goodness, you're such a kid. But he's one of the nicest guys. He's a hard worker. He's like perfect for New York because he just wants to work and like a ho hum blue collar type of guy. Like I really enjoy him. Nice and great family too. And has a sister who's a volleyball player.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's I think in Rhode Island. She played in Rhode Island. I'm not sure what. Maybe it was University of Rhode Island. I don't know. But she's in the Northeast and she's a coach now. Her name's Frankie and I love it.
I'll have to look that up. Super personable, nice guy. Was happy to be him. Said I was going to get to a Jets game. I did not do that.
Come on, Mare.
I know. I hope there will be football this year. What are you hearing on that front? Because with baseball, we really have no idea.
I think it's pretty much the same thing as you. Like everybody's hoping. They're like, well, I think we can start football, but with no fans in the seats. Like I just think no one really knows what's going to happen and how it's going to happen. But I mean, for you guys are what should be your second month of the season right now. Like at least the football season really starts in end of July, beginning of August, and I think they're trying to figure out what to do. I mean, it's just crazy. What have you been doing, by the way? I mean, I know what you've been doing because you've been doing all that, but how much do you miss covering it and going to the going to the park?
I mean, like anyone that's involved with baseball, whether it be fans, front office, players, it just becomes such a part of your life that it's just odd not going there every day. And this is the time where I'm usually ramping it up to 100+ miles an hour traveling all over the country, and to be stuck in my condo in Clearwater, hey, worst places to be. I'm not complaining. It could be a lot worse. At the same time, I don't think I've been down here 6 years now. I have not spent this much time consecutively at this place in 6 years.
Is this the longest you've been at a place that long in 6 years?
Probably longer than that. Probably the longest I've been at a place in about 8 or 9 years.
That's great. So Mare and I used to be, well, I guess not next door neighbors, but like we lived in the same apartment building. And I remember like we'd go months without seeing each other. She'd come back with her suitcase, and you literally lived out of a suitcase.
Yeah, I did. I still do, and I wouldn't be surprised if I don't have a suitcase that's still packed from when I came down here, but I still haven't unpacked. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Sarah Kustok hopped on as well. She said hello. She's a dear friend of ours as well. Hi, Sarah. Hope you're well.
Hi, Sarah.
As far as other NFL news, crazy today. Did you ever expect Gronk to come out of retirement, be traded within like 5 minutes, and wind up in Tampa Bay with his old friend, Tom Brady?
I mean, first of all, I never thought Tom Brady would not be in New England. Like, the fact that Tom Brady's in Tampa Bay, it's still like, wait, what? Like, the Buccaneers, Tom Brady. But today I was like, someone would text me like, oh, Gronk's out of retirement. I'm like, oh, stop it. He's a WWE guy. He's not going out of retirement. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, this is actually really happening. Like, it's amazing how much power Tom Brady has to convince him to get out of retirement, move down to Tampa Bay, get out of, his contract with the Patriots. And it's going to be crazy. I'm excited, though, for Tampa Bay. I think it's going to be fun. And, Coach Bowles is down there now. So I always am going to root for him.
Another place where I said, I'm going to get you a game and never have. I feel like this year is the year, should they admit fans, to do so.
Definitely have to get there this year.
Yeah. I was going to tell you something about Tom Brady. Oh, there was an article in the Tampa Bay Times today that he was caught in a park that was closed working out. So he was kindly asked to leave the park and work out.
It just goes to show you, even people like Tom Brady have to, follow the rules.
Follow the rules, social distance, stay inside. I'm sure he has a great gym in Jeter's mansion.
I know. Have you been
Yeah,
there? Have you ever seen? Has Jeter ever did like a Cribs episode of that house?
not when I was there. I did not get the invite to Jeter's mansion. You can see it from the water, and it's impressive. It is quite the place.
I wish they do a
God,
Cribs episode.
never invited me over for dinner to talk baseball for the S Network.
It's just so not fair.
I'll have to bring that up next time I see him.
I think you should.
So Gronk is what, like 30 years old now? 30?
Yeah, I mean, this might. I mean, I can expect. I honestly expect him to have a really good season because he retired because he was always hurt. He had a bad back. He's had a year now to like rehab, to rest, to be healthy, and he's so crazy and so fanatical about like football and sports that I can see him really balling out this year. He's healthy. I mean, he hasn't played football in a year and a half.
And that had to be difficult when your body's taking a beating year after year after year. And yeah, you have the off season, but he's had some major injuries where those effects last a lot longer. It doesn't necessarily heal in an off season. So it'll be cool to see them team up. Now, you said he's been able to relax. Have you seen his Instagram of what he's been doing? He's out of control.
First of all, you know I'm a WWF. I was a huge WWF fan. Like back in the day, I love wrestling.
Who was your guy?
Well, okay, Macho Man Randy Savage because I loved Elizabeth. Stop.
Tampa Tarpons had a Macho Man night. That's the single A team of the Yankees, by the way.
They just became my new favorite team. Like, that is crazy. That is awesome. I love Macho Man because I loved Elizabeth. Like, that was the coolest thing ever. I mean, you gotta love Hulk Hogan. You know, I'm a real American. Don't tell me you have something about.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Why is Mayor like the coolest person ever? Like, I love Big Boss Man. Love the Demolition Men.
You know J-Law, right?
Yes.
Halloween,
That
and Macho Man
is amazing.
Troubling or amazing, I'm not sure, but it was one hell of a Halloween.
Was it last year?
It was like 2 or 3 years ago. 2 or 3 years ago.
That is awesome.
It was out in Los Angeles. We would always go to the Maroon 5 Halloween party because she knows the Levine family.
Oh.
So we would go there, and you'd always see the craziest people. And I talked in Hulk Hogan voice the entire night. You know, normally women take it as an opportunity to maybe dress a little risque and be like, the hot whatever, you know? No, we went another direction that year, and I feel like we really got a good return on it. It was fun.
You can't go wrong if you're Macho Man Randy Savage and the Hulk.
Oh my God, it was so fun.
You can't go wrong. You should have your brother dress up as Elizabeth.
Oh man, you know, maybe I could get him to. And do you watch the show on E, Total Divas?
I like the Bella twins.
Bellas.
I used to watch the Total Diva. I can't believe I'm admitting this right now. I used to watch it because I love Natalie, Jim the Anvil Hart.
Yep, I'm very familiar.
His daughter. I used to watch it, but I loved it wrestling because it was real. But now that you see them behind, like, wait a second, this isn't real. Like, I didn't like it because it kind of it opened that red curtain. You know what I'm saying? It opened that door I didn't like to see.
Well, yeah, I feel like once you got a little older, you knew that it wasn't real, so it wasn't a big shocker to me.
Funny story though, when I was working in Indianapolis, one of my friends called and was like, Janae, I have an extra ticket somewhere and I need someone to go with. There's a huge storm. He's like, so you just have to say yes. I'm like, well, what is it for? And he's like, I don't want to tell you because I don't want you. I'm like, his name Chris Hagen. I love him, indie sports guy. And I was like, Chris, just tell me. I promise you I'll go. He's like, WWE. Like, I'm like, what? The Undertaker's in town? I'll go. He was like, you know WWE? I'm like, you have no idea. Like, that's when the Undertaker was like huge back then, big show. And we went and we sat like 3 rows from ringside.
Yeah.
Meredith, I could see like them tapping each other on the shoulder, like telling like the secret. And I'm like, oh, I see all the secrets this close. Before when I went, I was like nosebleed. So, I saw,
It looks real.
It looks real. Mm-hmm.
Now, if you were approached by the WWE, would you take a role?
Yeah, but I wouldn't be a heel. I would be I want to be a good girl, like a Bella twin.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to be in heel. Like I wouldn't want to be a bad one.
Would you actually wrestle, or would you just want to be a commentator of some
Oh
sort?
no, I would wrestle. Think of how athletic those people are. How
Oh yeah.
athletic those wrestlers are. Crazy.
I feel like you'd be very aerodynamically sound, like going off the top rope and
You're
just
right. My move would probably be like Macho Man Randy Savage, the elbow. Or remember Jimmy Snuka's Superfly, and he would go
yeah.
full
Oh, yeah.
like off the ring. Yeah.
I remember it all. I don't know why, but I do.
That's what happens when we have brothers.
Two older brothers, and you have
Yes.
an older brother too. At that party, there was a producer from Divas that said, "Hey, do you ever think about wrestling?" And I was like, no. I was already working for Yes Network, and I feel like
Okay.
that was a better, more stable gig. Um, really,
Yeah.
just really went right.
Yeah.
Really went right. So, what else is going on with you right now? How's Connecticut?
Connecticut's great. Nothing. Hang on. I'm gonna hang on. Scott. So we've been like watching, like really excited watching The Last Dance. You've been watching it.
Yeah, I watched the
It's awesome, right? So
yeah,
much
it's been
fun.
cool. It's been cool to watch.
Um, he just shut the door on me. Um,
No, I'm not joining your nonsense.
he is gonna join our nonsense. We're gonna talk The Last Dance. So we've been really like Scott's been doing a lot of interviews and stuff with that because he was the guy that Michael like he just wanted to hug. Michael just wanted to hug Michael. And I guess later in the episode 6 and 7 or 7 and 8, I think he gets rides Scott really hard. So like it's fun to relive that like now like as I'm older
Yeah.
and with Scott who lived it.
Well, I was going to ask you because you didn't know Scott then when he was playing, so you probably never had the opportunity to see him or really know him when he was a part of that team. So it has to be cool for you to see him in uniform and see him be involved with that process.
It's so cool. I mean, it was 20 years ago. I mean, we met what 6 years ago, 5 years ago. So like, he was a coach by then. Like I didn't even know like watched him play. I didn't know he was playing. So it's just so cool to see like. First of all, it's so cool to see that Bulls team. Like before social media, before all of that stuff, like they were just genuine superstars. Like this because people wanted to see these guys play, not because they were like promoted and on Twitter or people could see their highlights. So that's just cool. And to know like Scott was part of it, a little part of it is like so cool. And like just how tough the NBA was back then. And
Yeah.
it's just really cool.
Who was more excited, him to watch it or you to watch it?
Well, it's funny because I'll talk to Scott and Scott was like, I lived it. I know what it's about. Like, but I think he enjoyed it because it was 22 years ago. So for him, or 21 years ago, I can't believe it was that long ago. So like, he was like, oh my God, I remember that. Oh my gosh. He was like such a baby. He was like 26 years old. Like, it's crazy.
And you look at your son, he's clearly going to be extremely athletic. Scott, for those that don't know, I mean, he holds a distinction as far as being drafted into sports. And the only one I think still holds the distinction, he was
Well,
first round.
he's the first ever to be drafted in the first round of 2 professional sports. But Kyler Murray was drafted last year, so Kyler Murray's the second.
Mm-hmm.
But Scott did basketball and baseball, and then Kyler's football and baseball. Yeah. Scott, can you come here?
Scott, hurry up!
Scott's like, I have to do this interview. Yeah, you do. He must be talking to his friend. But do you remember, like, you forget how great Michael Jordan is. Like, right?
Yeah, it's been so long, and then the memories that were the most recent, like his last couple of years in the league, he just wasn't the same player.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't the early Jordan that just dominated everything. So to see that over again, I think it's everybody excited.
Meredith wants to talk. I'm going to take my headphone off. I think.
Can I hear?
Still hear me?
Hear you? Oh,
Yeah.
perfect.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear us?
Yeah. Hi,
What's up?
Scott.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Where are you at? Are you in Florida?
Yeah, I'm in Florida.
Nice.
I never made it
Nice.
home.
Nice. I see you have a lot, showing a lot of arms there because the weather's so nice. We're bundled up here still.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, it was about 80 degrees here today, not to rub it in at all. But
Oh yeah.
you know, coffee on the balcony, not the worst thing in the world.
No, it's not. You definitely.
Trying to make it work.
We were wearing winter hats this morning.
Yes.
Oh. So Janae and I were talking Last Dance. How much were you looking forward to seeing this documentary, knowing that you were interviewed, you obviously lived it, you were a part of it? Has it been fun?
It's awesome. I mean, to relive those days and the fun we had and winning a championship was unbelievable. And it's great to see the old footage that they have. It's going to get real ugly for me in a couple of episodes, but I'm excited to see it, though.
What's going to happen?
I'm sure they're going to show MJ riding me a lot, but I'm ready for it.
He just wanted a hug from MJ.
Yeah, he was going to hug. Yeah.
Have you ever addressed that later on in life after he retired? Dude, why wouldn't you just give me the hug?
No, it was more. I liked his facial expression more than anything. It was better than the hug.
Yeah. Now, what made him such a great leader?
He led by example. He came to practice every day to be the best. He never took days off. He pushed people. He was always motivated to be great. He did everything right to make people follow him. And if you can't find a better leader. I mean, people might not like the way he worked. He pushed his teammates, but it worked. He worked and got him 6 championships.
Did you ever get to the gym before him?
Say again?
Did you ever get to the gym before him, or did he beat you every time?
I got to get, well, he lifted weights, so he was up earlier than me most times. I might have got to the gym before him, but yeah. But it wasn't. He already had his workout in though.
Now, there's a clip that Dennis Rodman, when Scottie Pippen was out, he stepped up in a big way. He was on his best behavior, and then he told Phil Jackson he needed a vacation. He had to go to Vegas for 48 hours. What were nights out with Rodman?
Well, sorry. I've heard that one of the scenes from the movie is Jordan calls Scott Baby Rodman.
That's a little exaggerated, you know. Obviously, we all hang out, but I mean, it wasn't.
Well, I haven't seen that side of you, Scott. I want to see Baby Rodman.
Exactly.
That's what I said.
I went out maybe once or twice with him. It wasn't often, but yeah. I mean, Dennis always took a day off every now and then. But Phil knew when Dennis came back, he was going to be energized and rejuvenated and give him his all. So they let him have his days off when he needed them.
Mayor, it's funny because I was talking to him, like, what was Rodman like? Because we just see like this colorful, like crazy. Scott's like, he was actually really quiet and didn't talk at all.
Never talked. Unbelievable shape. Energy, huge calves. I mean, he was an awesome, lean, great athlete.
Isn't that crazy? He was like, he's just a freak athlete. He's like,
yeah.
But he didn't really talk. He was really shy. And I'm like, what?
And when I was playing, he was a lot older than me. So, I mean, it was impressive how old he was and still doing what he was doing.
What do you think made him so nasty on the court? And I don't say that negatively. I say that in a good way of how aggressive he was.
He knew his job, and he knew what he was great at, getting in people's minds, rebounding, playing great D. He watched a lot of film. He lifted a lot of weights. He was always prepared to do his job.
What will you remember most about MJ from that season on the court and a story off the court?
On the court, no one's will is tougher than him. No one's more mentally tougher than him. He played every game of the season, never took a day off, never asked to come out the game. He'll will himself to win, or will himself to be better than his opponent. He might struggle during games. He'll find a little energy or find something and turn it on and will himself to win, will us to win.
Anything crazy happen off the court with MJ?
So you could tell me.
I know. Hey, I'm not sure if I can tell you if anything crazy happened, but nothing really crazy happened though. So, just go to dinner. I mean, it was nothing really bad or anything or crazy. You might see the crazy stuff on the court, which is just as bad as if something did happen off the court.
Yeah.
In the video.
Okay. So if we look at the 97-98 roster, which player is most like Janae? Like what player would Janae be?
Michael? Did you really have to ask that question?
Yes, you need to ask that question.
Really?
Because there's a different answer. I would say what players like Janae?
Scott Burrell? Jokester?
No, Steve Kerr. He's a smart guy. I would say Steve.
It's a nice compliment.
Okay, I'll take Steve.
Yeah.
What about Meredith? Who's mayor? Rodman?
I don't know her partying techniques.
No.
I would say Bill Winnington. Bill Winnington is one of the funniest people ever.
I was going to say because she's tall and white.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Hey, I remember one time we were playing at Jersey, and it was real quiet. Winnington was at the foul line. Winnington was older too. Like it was really pretty much an older team. So I remember it was real quiet. Bill's at the foul line, and some guy goes, "Hey, Winnington, you're a fossil." And I started dying on the bench laughing. And he looked over at me on the bench. "You like that one, huh, Burrell?" And every time I see him, he'll always remind me of that joke. It was hilarious.
Now, has that? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, how crazy is it, Meredith, to think after watching this documentary, this is what Scott and I always talk about, that they wanted to break that dynasty up. You cover the Yankees. Can you imagine if they're like, you know what? After this championship, you're done. We're going to break you guys up. Can you imagine that happening now?
That's so wild because that's your bread and butter. If you put a good product out there, people are going to continue to show up and continue to come. Obviously, they still did okay there after, but
yeah, but the Yankees have so much money as well, and I think he knew if he had to keep his team together, the pockets had to open up, and he wanted that profits for him more than maybe giving out to other players.
Now, have you two ever shot hoops together?
Ever what?
Did you guys ever shoot hoops together?
I'm horrible. I think horrible at basketball. I never played.
No. Does she look like an athlete?
However, though, our Scott got Coakley golf clubs for Christmas, and we went to their driving range a while back. And he's like, "You want to hit a ball tonight?" I was like, "It's using his club." What did you tell? You can tell her.
She was very impressive.
He was like, "Oh my gosh."
She hit it long.
I'm like,
I was very impressed. I said, "We could play golf sometimes." She's like, "No, I hate golf."
No.
I was like, "All right," but I really didn't want to play with it. I just wanted to say it to make it feel good.
I saw Coakley's pretty good already.
Coakley's getting better. Yeah, he loves golf. He loves swinging. Yeah.
Adorable.
But he says that Cora's he thinks has more of the.
She's gonna be tougher. She's gonna be the tougher one.
Yeah.
Except for her mother.
Look at her. She's over here. No, put it right there.
Yeah.
She's over here eating right now.
What up, girl? Hello. I think it's so cute. I love it. Michelle, you popping on. What did she say?
Hey, what did she have to say?
She's a big fan, and she wants to know if we could send her an autograph of all of us.
Of all of us? Well, should we get her to sing Hero?
Who and me? Her or me?
All of us. Meredith is really good. We always end our nice karaoke. That's our favorite thing to do.
Back in the day when we used to be young and fun, we would go out and we would inevitably wind up at one of the karaoke places in New York City that are the closed room karaoke, so it's just like a private room so no one else sees you acting cool. Yeah. And for me, I was never blessed with a great singing voice, but I do know that performance matters.
Yeah.
So it was more about the theatrical aspect of it. More so than anything else, and I'd be happy to relive a karaoke night with you guys sometime when all of this stuff clears up. We can all get back to the city.
That would sounds be so good.
Fun. So fun.
I would love it.
I'll watch you guys. I won't do it, but I'll watch you guys.
I think you'll be inspired after you see my rendition.
No, thank you.
I promise you will be.
Oh no, really? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Are you excited to watch episode? Isn't it amazing how The Last Dance came out right now? I mean, I know they bumped it up.
Yeah.
But like it was perfect timing. Like all the years they've had this footage, and like for 21 years he decided.
And people are just craving sports of any kind, something new content. What's up, Coakley? Yeah. So it came out. I think people needed it. They needed something to feel good about in their lives right now.
But to see
so many different people
and to see some competition, and MJ brings it. And plus, to see old footage of MJ, how good he was.
Yeah. Because I think people forget.
The young generation have never seen him.
That's true. That's a good point, too.
They've seen Kobe, LeBron, Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Like when they think of Michael, they think, oh, he has great shoes, great clothes.
Yeah.
True.
And we were laughing because like the footage of like his first couple games is so bad compared to footage now, like of the quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TV has changed a lot, too. Now, Scott, what happened with your season this year? Did you guys get to finish it out?
Yeah, we got done about a week before. We lost in the quarterfinals of our conference tournament. So it was a good timing for us to be done. And since we didn't make the tournament, I was okay with that.
You were done anyway.
Yeah.
Squad going to be better next year?
We'll be better next year, yeah. We need more scoring. We went out and got more scoring, so we'll be better.
It's crazy, though, how they have to recruit now. Because you can't go and you can't see players now.
So everything's online, and you need a lot of referrals, a lot of recommendations, and people believe what they say about them. players you're recruiting. So you got to dig deep into your phone and look and see who saw the kid play and find out if he's really that good.
That has to be so difficult to really, without meeting the person, maybe doing a FaceTime or a Zoom or something like that, to get the true story of what they're about, what their upbringing is, what their character is like.
Exactly.
But,
well, and that's kind of like this draft this year. And I was talking to Joe Douglas, like, how do you really know these guys? Because you stopped March 13th. They're told, no, you can't do this anymore. Like, usually you go and like interview these guys, you see pro days, like you're like taking a huge risk almost.
And it's not like there's not a lot of money at stake either. Right?
I know.
Yeah.
I know, right?
You're right. How far did they get along, Janae? Like, how much stuff did they actually see? Obviously, their college seasons, the combine, other appearances, but
that's what Joe Douglas was saying. He's like, listen, we have enough stuff on tape and footage, and you count on your scouts. They lost about 6 or 7 weeks, but those are like, that's when you go and find like those 5th, 6th, 7th round guys, like the guys you don't really see, like pro days. A lot of guys didn't have. We have like a little stalker back here.
You see him? He's creepy, man.
Like pro days and stuff like that, they weren't allowed to see. And I thought someone tweeted, I think it was actually Diana Rossini, and she was like, I just talked to someone, and it's like a coach referred to it as, or a scout was saying, it's like going on Tinder, having coffee with someone, and then marrying him. Like, that's how they feel. Like, they don't have enough to know about. Like, they just have that small sliver of information.
Hey, that sounds familiar.
Not me.
No.
Not me.
I think he's referring to me. I'm just kidding.
Hey, it seems to be working out, right?
Coakley, turn the light on, please.
Oh my God, that's too funny.
So, Mara, what are you up to?
Well, not a lot, being self-quarantined here. Yes,
Yeah, but you're in 80-degree weather quarantine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Dating life, like many, has taken a bit of a hit during the quarantine.
No, it is crazy. I know. That is crazy.
Maybe next year. I'm not going to worry about it.
Maybe in 2021. Let's just, let's just call this year a wrap.
Yeah, just pretend it's not happening. What a wild year it's been so far.
Yeah.
How's everyone over at SNY?
They're great. I mean, we, like you guys, we're just trying to get stuff on. We do it through digital. We do it through stuff like that. So it's actually, it's fun. I mean, it's fun because you have to try to be creative and do stuff like that. I mean, you want to come back, but you get to tell some stories that you aren't able to tell sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. I saw Steve Gelbs, who covers the Mets and does
awesome.
for SNY, recently joined Cameo. Are you on Cameo yet?
I don't know what Cameo is. Meredith, you know I'm old.
You're not old. You're not old. Cameo is an app where fans can reach out to you and they can request a video message for a nominal fee, and then you record whether it's a birthday message or a keep your head up message. It's a really cool platform.
Oh, that's awesome.
Back and forth with fans. Gelbs recently joined it. I don't know how much action he's been getting on that from Mets fans and others. But I was thinking about maybe trolling him.
Oh, you should.
Requesting him to make me a video, but I don't know, what should I say?
Oh, I don't know. That's good.
It's a good one, right?
It's a very good one.
I think it'd be the best troll job because then I can troll again when he sends the video. I can post it.
Exactly, but be careful because he might troll you. Are you on Cameo?
I am on Cameo.
Okay. We're eating too many animamis over here.
Not a Steve Gelbs fan, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I love Steve.
I love Steve. He's awesome.
He's really sweet.
It's funny because we are such opposite seasons. So like when his season's over, like you and I, so we like miss each other in the office, Steve and I. So, you okay there, Missy?
Well, I see him Subway Series, and then I see him winter meetings, and that's the only time I see him throughout the course of the year too.
Isn't it crazy?
It's wild. And same with Kustok, because she's on the road when I'm home, and I'm on the road when she's home. So
it's such a crazy. It's like we just like ships in that night. You should have Gelbs come on this live with Mare.
I know. I think I'm going to. I'll have to see how he will feel about A-Rod being his boss.
Do you think that's really going to happen?
No.
Well, A-Rod happen or J-Lo?
Does Does everybody get free concert tickets to J-Lo events?
I know, right?
Would you sign up for that? I'd sign up for that.
I would sign up for J-Lo concert.
I think he'll probably, if it does happen, it'll be a similar situation of, I was talking to somebody about this today, like Jay-Z and Beyonce with the Nets. It was such a small percentage, even though it was a lot of money. He'll be part of that ownership group, but he by no means will put the majority of the capital in that.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
it's just interesting, like I said. First of all, A-Rod and J-Lo, like, interesting. I'm more Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Yeah, it's a lot. Can you imagine how many times? Well, I wonder, like, would SNY be required to show them in the front row, like, every game?
Probably. Would you want to? I would.
Yeah.
Because I would want to see them.
Yeah. I'd be curious to see if it does happen, how much control he'd have over baseball operations. Is it going to be like a Derek Jeter situation where he didn't put, I mean, by our standards, he put in a lot of money, but by the standards of owning a franchise for a couple $1 billion, it was not that big a part of the pot, but he's essentially running the team. I have a feeling that Alex would want to have a very big hand in baseball operations. So
you think he would just want to be like the mouth, not the mouthpiece, but like this, the focal point, like just, you think he'd want to like have more control?
Yeah, I think not only does he not hate attention, I think that he would want it to be his quote unquote team. Now, should things start going poorly, I don't know what would happen, how quickly he would hit the eject button or how quickly he would decide to do something else. My question for that right now is, Jeter really has focused on that, and while I'm sure he has other projects going on, that is the main thing he's doing right now. Alex has so many different projects going on.
Yeah.
You can't do everything, and if you're going to do that job well, you really need to get sturdy and get in there. So I just don't see him doing that. But could he? I don't know. I mean, I'm not close with Alex, so I don't know. I know he wants to buy it, want to buy it, but whether or not that'll happen, who knows? And now you wonder what the valuation is, because the valuation before was north of $2 billion, but now with the pandemic, the Wilpons probably took a huge hit again financially.
Yeah, everybody.
The way the stock market is, the rest of America. Are they still going to get that? Or are they going to be forced to sell at a number that they aren't comfortable with? I think you base it on the projections, realizing that by the time the sale goes through this year, maybe won't be a big part of it. But still, I don't know. It's a very interesting situation.
I know. It's kind of fun to think about it and to talk about it and see if it really happens.
It would be a built-in kind of nemesis for the Yankees, even though the Yankees-Mets are a rivalry, but it's not the same as it used to be.
Oh, you had Alex Rodriguez as the Mets owner? Oh, come on.
Oh, my God.
That was fun.
I wonder if that then takes him out of the category of being a quote-unquote Yankee for life. He was an advisor for a little while when he was fulfilling his contract, when he wasn't playing anymore. And he's around, but not really around. But I do believe that he would eventually be a guy that would have been invited to Old Timers Day or to an event here or an event there. Somebody saying he's no Derek Jeter. Yeah, that's true. He's not Derek Jeter. So I wonder if that would tarnish his standing in the Yankees organization.
I was just going to say, what would Yankee fans think of that if he bought the Mets?
I don't know. It's one of those, with the exception of some of those core players, we love you when you're with us. When you're not, I don't know. And he was such a lightning rod and such a polarizing figure that he wasn't well-liked a lot of times when he was with the Yankees. Yeah. The fans were certainly hard on him, and rightfully so. But I just don't know how much it really matters anymore, and I don't know how much people are really going to want to see him there anyway. I think Jeter will be invited back. I don't think Jeter will take them up on that.
Like Jeter's just like, when I think of the Yankees, especially my generation.
Jeter, Pettit, Posada, the core four. Bernie, Tino, Paul O'Neill, all those guys you think of. You don't really think of Alex. So
No.
yeah, I don't know. I can see the sunset out of my window right now, which is quite beautiful. Maybe I'll go for a walk after this if it's not.
I see rain and it looks freezing outside.
Yeah, it's been nasty up there the last day and a half, right?
So nasty. And it's like, it doesn't feel like spring, it feels like fall. Like, it's like a 55, but it's like that brisk cold. Ugh, you're so lucky you're down in Florida.
So how do you keep two young kids busy 24/7 in the house?
Well, we're outside at least 4 hours a day. Coakley,
Rain or shine?
Rain or shine, for the most part. Yeah.
Go out, run around.
We have a basement, so we have like stuff they can do downstairs. But Coakley got a bike, a big boy bike for Easter, so he's on that a lot. He can ride a two-wheeler. So we bring him to the park. Like there's these trails, and they're up and down as we tire him out. Same with Cora. We put her on the scooter, and she has to like no motorized toys at this house. It's all. It's all like just move it. It's very, you have to be very creative, very creative.
I imagine so. And I like that too, because it's so easy to just say, watch TV, play video games, but you get them out there, you get them active.
But trust me, my kids, I mean, I wish my kids would watch more TV, to be honest with you. Like, it would say, please, just watch. They like Daniel Tiger, so we can pawn them off for like 20 minutes, but they take 2.5 hour naps every day, both of them, every day, and they sleep really well. So it's just, I can just get them out and move them around, and that's the best. But like I said, every now and then, like, please just watch TV, please.
I have a lot of friends with young kids, and I do not envy you guys because I imagine that it is difficult to entertain 24/7. But hey, everyone's doing.
Oh, I used to be that woman without kids that used to judge parents and kids. And then I had children. I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel horrible. Like, I wish I could take it all back. Like, I was Miss Judgy. And then I had kids. I'm like, oh, okay. It's whatever you can do to survive.
Yeah. Survival.
Just survival. My kids are breathing every night at the end of the day, and I feel that is a huge win.
That is a win.
Yeah.
All that matters.
Yeah.
So when this quarantine ends,
yes,
we restore some normalcy in the world. We're both working again full time.
Yes.
And we have an off day. Where is the first place we're going to go for a lunch, a brunch, a happy hour, a dinner?
I feel we go to that.
And who are we inviting? And who are we inviting?
Oh, you, Kustok, and I mean you like YU, like Michelle you.
Yeah.
Kustok, Ducat, you and me. That's a solid group right there.
That's a crew right there.
Yeah. I say we go to that restaurant at Bryant Park. I hear they have really good happy hour. Well, if we get there at a time. I feel we have to go there just to relive some moments, and then maybe go karaoke after.
That would be really fun. So for those of you that are watching, we went to lunch.
We don't need to tell. We don't need to tell.
Stories. No. Staying for happy. I'm just gonna say we went to lunch, stayed for happy hour. Everyone that's watching, you can figure out the rest. It was a fun day. It was a really, really fun day. That was a good time.
Yeah.
A good time.
So hopefully that we can do that soon. That was fun.
I just fear that I'm not going to be back in New York till like July or August, which is crazy.
Birthday? Your birthday?
Ooh, maybe a big bash.
Yeah, you and Michelle's birthday. We could celebrate then.
Yeah.
But I hope you're back in New York sooner than that. I hope like next month.
Praying. Anything else on your mind?
No. I think I was so much fun catching up with you.
Yes, thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. I figured who better to have on with some NFL news today and the draft's coming up. And I got to check in with a friend, so it was fun.
Yeah, it was so much fun. Thank you. And watch if you need, and watch Last Dance episodes 3, 4 on Sunday, and the draft on Thursday.